Hi guys, it's Clematara from the Amazon in Peru, and I'm here to do a little bit more sharing of my garden of medicine plants. It's the 18th of June 2022, and here is, first of all, I had a beautiful find of my curcumin, which is called curcumin here, or guisador. It's you just stick a little bit in the ground and it starts doing this after a while. There was a lot more on it. I'll show it to you in a minute. So, turmeric, really. It's turmeric. So, really lovely. It's good for many, many things. Apart from helping with immune system, it also apparently helps against yellow fever and hepatitis and stuff like that. Here's a whole handful of it. So these are all a bit hard to show on this, on the horizontal, the vertical way. Yeah, so here they are. Yeah, all falling all over the place. So yeah, they grow like that. They look like worms, but they are not. They're hard, and when you chop them up, they're very yellow. Very yellow. They stain. They're yellow stain. Make a yellow stain. So I chop it up very fine. What I do is I've been making a drink out of it. It's sort of like a health booster. Start with chopping up these guys, and then I chop up ginger also, which also I have grown in the garden, but I haven't actually had a good harvest of it yet. So just these. It's another one of those roots. Ginger helps against blood clots and well, a host of intestinal problems. And then I have this, it's called toronja here, but it's a sort of grapefruit. And with the peeler, I peel actually sections of the skin off. So that's, show a little bit of it. So that it's sort of like thin skin, which has an absolutely marvelous smell. So that skin I chop very fine as well, and then I put it together in a container, and this is an older brew, and then I put alcohol on top of it, so it kind of keeps almost indefinitely, and all the goodness soaks into the alcohol, so you can have a little tipple in the afternoon or just before going to bed, just to kind of give you that boost. It's also great for rinsing your teeth after you've brushed your teeth. It actually helps the gums a lot, because these things are great against infection. It's just, look at them. I think they're so cute. I'm squinting because I really need glasses, but I didn't bring them right now. I don't actually need them. So that's one thing. That's my special power drink that I make. And say hello, goodbye one more time to the wonderful roots of the turmeric. The plant actually has, this is quite a big one. When the roots are all grown, this actually sort of dries up. So then you know from on the outside that underneath that those stalks is actually a cache of beautiful golden turmeric. Now I want to talk about another plant that I've had problems growing anything in my garden because the climate is not very helpful for the Western plants that I'm used to. I was born in Holland and worked in Australia for 30 years. New Zealand also. New Zealand was great for potatoes. Australia had a lot of other plants, also had gardens there. But here is a lot of, near the Amazon, there's a lot of rain. There's flooding at times, so it's really difficult. You have to have plants who actually can accept that kind of condition. So I let the garden, basically what I've done, there's a lot of sand because it's all fluvial. So there's a lot of sand everywhere underneath a little thin layer of earth. So because we have no rubbish collection, I make a lot of composting and we burn whatever we can together with garden clippings. So then that all makes it into a sort of a really good dark earth, and we make little boxes, reasonably sized boxes, and put all that earth in there, and plants just basically start growing in on their own accord. So I think if they want to be there, then they're going to be much more healthier than if I'm trying to bring things from another area in the world. So this is another plant that grew. It's the it's called the Cocona. People here use Cocona for drinks. It's very acidy. When you open it up, it's like this. They call it a tomato, but it's actually much more acidic than a tomato. But this, you can actually squeeze out, catch the pips out, and or strain the pips out, and then you have a really acidy accompaniment if you chop up onions and a peppery little seeds in it. That's what they make here for as something to accompany deep fried food, like deep fried empanadas, which are made from yuca potato with a wrapping of yuca potato with little pieces of vegetable inside and a bit of egg and an olive usually. So that's basically that sort of thing they stick in there. You can also make drinks out of it, and it's very good for intestinal health. You can boil it up. Sometimes they boil it up to make a sort of almost like a puree type drink out of it. It's also very good, very nice and refreshing. So, but here I have a leaf of the Cocona. It actually grows in many places here. It grows almost like a weed. This has just been out of the tree for a few minutes and it's starting to flap already. So this is, it's all very furry, and it's quite big. And this leaf, I had one day that I actually had a kettle went over my legs and my lap, and boiling hot water, and it was really a very dangerous burn. And so I asked my local people what would they do in the old days, what are their medicines for burns. So they actually brought this leaf, and they actually folded it up and put it in a plastic bag and then smashed it very hard so that it with a bottle or a hammer or whatever, they usually use like a little wooden mallet, and then the juice comes out of it, and that juice is very deep green, and you can drip it on the burns, and it makes it instantly really cool, and so you don't suffer the same pain that people might suffer normally. And then after the first couple of days we did this, dripping this on it. It was really big on both legs, sort of like half the leg. And then I went for the good old Sábila. Here's one. And usually the best thing is to kind of peel off these little teeth on both sides, and then you can slip it down the middle, and then you have kind of like a jelly pad, which I'll just show you that. Take the peel, the little so yeah, that's taking the little teeth off, and then slide it down the middle, and then this you can use. It's very slimy. You can even, I don't know if you can see that, but that you can wrap over your burns. So just even you can rub it over your burns, so like a sort of a jelly. And I found that after a while, because for good healing, burns seem to need to peel. So I would start to get itchy. I would rub this, slather it in that gel, and then with a knife like this, which is actually a serrated knife, I would very, very softly scrape the gel off, and a little bit of skin would come off with it, and then it would look really pink, and then I would cover the whole thing in gel again, and then leave it and not touch anything with it. So I'd have to have something in my bed that would make sure that I wouldn't touch my legs with the sheet or anything like that. So that's what I did for about 3 weeks, and it was basically completely healed without a scar. So I was very happy about that. And this is basically what my little program was for today. So I hope that's been interesting for you, and otherwise leave me a comment and I'll try to get back to you. Okay, God bless, and have a really good weekend. Bye bye.